Look at, there's an access panel right here with this screw, and you have your electric right here that's held on by this. So what we got to do is we got to loosen that up, pull our electric out of the old unit, and we got to take off this cover here. So alright. Okay, now just a little bit, just go in there. There's our connections right there. Our power's off. Very important to make sure that your power is off when you do this. We've disconnected the hookup for the dishwasher. We've disconnected the drain line that goes out to the city. And then down below, we're disconnecting our electric. And in just a moment, we're gonna remove this right here by tapping on it to unlock it, and the weight of it will fall. Screwdriver and a hammer. There we go. I've got one hand down below here to take the weight of it. That comes off like that. So this is the actual part that you see from up top. What you don't see underneath is that these little teeth right here, there we go, like this, hooks up onto a track, and when you tap it, the track is at an angle, and so that tooth hooks on there, and as in an angle, pulls it up tight, up against the top of that. Now here's the really good news, is that this is the new food waste disposer that would fit down inside the sink, but what I did was I went ahead and I checked it to see if it would fit into the old ring. It does. It fits perfectly. The old ring is already set. There's no leaks. It's good to go. I'll keep this in case there's ever an issue with that. But for now, just to simplify things, I'm going to go ahead and install the new unit using the old hanging system. Okay, that's good news. Alright, this is our new unit. If you look down in there, there's a hole for our waste line, but down inside of there, there's a plug, and they call that a knockout. You take your screwdriver and your hammer, and you knock it out. Next, you have where the food waste would escape from. There should be a little rubber gasket. There is, and that fits right in there. Great. Then, you have a trap and a connector for the trap. And the way that goes together is just like that. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. And then there's a couple of bolts that hold it together. And they have little screw heads on top to tighten it down. We're going to put that together and we'll do our knockout next. What's different about that's a normal. Now this is a little bit different about mine is that I don't have room. Mine goes straight out. There's a tailpiece here and a little black. And there, I've loosened that up to tie right into my 2-inch line. Let me pull this tailpiece out. And this tailpiece is going to go into the side, and I'll take this black off and put on my new silver and tighten it down. Just to reiterate, this is the piece that came with my kit. But my kitchen design was such that it needed to be across and then down through the trap here. So I actually took the tailpiece from the old one, put it behind my new collar, screwed it down. There's rubber in there. I went ahead and put my new gasket on to where when I put my nut on, rather, it'll tighten down correctly. The only thing left to do is to do the knockout right here for the sink. And then we have some electric and we'll be done. Okay, we're just going to knock this out using a hammer and a little screwdriver, and it's just simply set down in the center and knock it out. There it went. Don't leave it in there. Go ahead and get it out. Gotta chase it down and get it out. There. You don't want to leave the knockout in there because then that could hurt your blades, and you just put it in a new garbage disposal only for it to hurt the blades. So now the knockout is free and we can hook this up. We're going to hook up our electric first, and you can see here on the bottom there's the panel to get it in. And while I've got this open, this is a reset button for in case there's a problem and it pops. Check to see if that has popped, and if that has popped you can push that down and that'll reset it. Right here is where your electric feed is in, and there's a nut and a clamp system. You feed it in here, do it in over there, and we'll show that to you in just a second. This is the electric nut that you're going to need to install this correctly, and it simply screws on the bottom, and there's a screw on the left and the right. So you see the thread right here, and then when you look at it from the top, you can see that these two tighten up when you tighten the screws to the left and the right. Your wire, your 12-2 or 14-2 wire, that's your black and your white and your copper, will feed through there and be tightened up. This will already be screwed into the bottom of your unit right here. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. Just going to feed it in and tighten it up. This one came off of the old one, but it's no big deal. We just tighten it right in there. Look at that. Look at that. Okay. And we're going to take this off next and expose our wires. Here's what we're looking at now. We've removed the little case. You can see that there's a green screw here. This is for your copper wire and your black and your white wires. And we'll have a couple of electric nuts to put those together. And it feeds through right here. And once we get our line in here, we'll tighten down the two screws. That'll squeeze it in to keep it from moving. And everything will be hooked up, safe and secure, the way it should be. Alright, before we work upside down, we're going to go ahead and do our electric the easy way. So, this is our wire here. It's not hot currently. We're going to feed it through this hole here, tighten that down. And we're doing this before we've attached it, so we're not working upside down. You can just see that I've just got it sitting in the cabinet. There's my line, and I'm just going to wiggle it through and feed it out and tie it together. Alright, we're getting ready to put our line in there. Here's our adapter, which we've already put in place once we took it out, because it'll be much easier to feed the adapter up the line and then screw the adapter in and then tighten it down. So make sure to wait till this is on the line. Okay, great. Make sure that you've got your thread towards your garbage disposal. Your line's fed through and curled around. We're going to hook up our ground and then our wires, and we'll tighten that up in just a couple seconds. Okay, here we've fed our line through. We've screwed that in and we've tightened it down to where that clamp is holding our line securely. These are our feeds, hot and neutral, or hot and return. Our ground is already connected here on the green screw, and we're going to take our black to black and our white to white. We're going to use a couple of electric screw heads or electric nuts, put them together, and a little bit of electric tape, and we'll be done. The way that you do this is you're going to take your two lines, you're going to line them up almost tip to tip. Electric nut on, line it up, put your electric nut on, tighten it down. We got the caps on, electric tape, going to tuck it in and put the case cover on. Now we got to do is we got to hang this here and line up our drain line there, all in one move. Spin it around. Okay. Now I'm holding it with my arm. Got my elbow down there. There's my arm coming up underneath the bottom of it. I'm coming up to the top. Hi, how you doing? See how I'm holding it there? There. Okay, I've got my tailpiece lined up, so it's going in the hole there. Now all I got to do is spin my bolts around to where I can get my teeth caught. There we go. Now, got to kind of walk that on, a little wiggle. It goes a long way. And you want to make sure that all your teeth get on. Otherwise, it won't be mounted correctly and you'll be underneath here. I'm going to back that down a little bit. There we go. All right, now. Here, see this little circle right here is for striking out, and there's a tooth right behind it. And I'm just going to swing this around here. Don't know if it'll film it or not. Want to make sure that it's on all the way around all three sides. And then we're just going to tap. Going to tap with our hammer. There we go. And tighten that up. And we're going to tap it right here. We're going to go around and check and make sure that they're all on. Yep, it's on back there as well. Okay. Alright, I'm getting close to the end of the ramp. What I mean by that is that piece that was going up at an angle, that the tooth is hanging on, it's creeping up to the top of it, which means that's going to be nice and secure where it needs to be. Got our electric in. We've got it hung. Electric's in, got it hung. Got our tail piece here, we need to just reattach it. This is just a finger tight. Okay. Alright, and there's our line for dishwasher. Line goes back on. Walk it on. You see how I walked that on there? I just wiggled it all the way up. Kept the clamp where I can reach it. Tighten it down. Call it a day. So now all we have to do is just tighten it down. I know it's tight enough because my clamp is starting to dig into the rubber here, and it's on correctly. It's got the trap here. It's all set. That's